All right, you guys, happy Thursday night. I am so excited to be with you guys, and I love that we get to do this every Thursday. It has been an insane week for me since our last Zoom on Thursday, and I have not gotten that Zoom recording out because my husband was admitted to the hospital on Friday, and that's just the way my week. We literally just got discharged yesterday, so it has been a crazy 6 days. I'm exhausted, and but he is so much better, and so I'm glad to be home. But I will probably be posting both recordings at the same time this weekend when I get those up. So tonight, I kind of wanted to talk about. We have some people on our team that are winning right now, and when I say winning, I mean they're enrolling and they're enrolling well. And one of those people is Jen Moore, who's on the call with us tonight. And I just kind of wanted to pick her brain a little bit. She went from not enrolling to enrolling to not enrolling to enrolling and just kind of been back and forth. And I just kind of wanted to see, like, ask her a couple questions on what she's doing now, what's been the change, what is she like pivoted from, overcame as she is going into like this winning season that she is having so far this month. And we are only 14 days in, and it's been her best enrollment month in months. And so I'm just super excited to talk to her tonight. And I know that she has been bouncing around at the ball fields and it's just now coming home. So we're trying to make this work on everybody's timeline and timetable, but just super excited to talk to her. So Jen, come on and say hello and let us know how long you've been in the business. And so I guess the game didn't get canceled, obviously. Just let us know how long you've been in the business and why did you join the business?
Okay, so I've been in the business for a year now. I just celebrated my year anniversary in March. Why did I get into the business? Because I wanted to make extra income for my family and to try to make a way for my family to get out of credit card debt, which I am about $2,000 away from being completely out of credit card debt. So this business has completely changed our life. And I didn't want to have to pay for my products. I wanted to make enough to cover for my products. I've lost about 30 pounds since I've started all of this in the last year. So that's pretty much a little tidbit of my story. I'm a mom of two very rambunctious boys, and I have an amazing husband who's my support system. So that's my story.
Love it. And he has always been so freaking supportive of you. I love that. I tell that to people all the time. Ashley is another one who has a great supportive husband and our fiance. And I'm like, it's so unheard of. Like, I'm just being honest with you. You don't realize how rare that is, because probably one of the things I hear from women the most is, what do I do with an unsupportive spouse? And so like the fact that both of you that are on here tonight have supportive significant others is amazing, because that helps your mindset so much and helps you to be able to keep going because they believe in you and believe in what you're doing. So that's so amazing. And Jen, I didn't realize you lost 30 pounds. That's freaking awesome. I love that. I'm so happy for you. And $2,000 away from all your credit card debt being paid off. That's killer. That's awesome. So you have had kind of like a switch this month. And so I kind of want to just kind of hear about that, like where your mindset was going into this month, and what's changed and what you're doing different to be able to be like enrolling like you are.
So it was completely mindset. It was, I was in a very bad place. I was actually almost on the verge of quitting, which I told myself when I first started the business that I was not going to bring quitting on the table ever. But my husband got very sick over Christmas time. And I just thought, why am I doing this? Why am I spending the time to post and things like that when I have more important things to do? And so I had a conversation with Melanie Toller, and she was like, the reason you do this is so that you can spend time with him, so that you can pay for the medications that he needs now, so that you can do the things that you need to do now. And she was completely right. I have, just like Melody, I have a bestie in the group. I have become very, very close with Bridget. And like every couple months, I travel to go see her, or we meet up somewhere. And I want to be able to have the money to do that. Most of the money that I make from my full-time job goes to my family for everyday living expenses and baseball and things like that. But how did I shift the mindset? We have preached from day one, consistency is key. Consistency is key. And I have always thought, oh, but is it really key? Yes, consistency is the key to this successful business, because in the month of March, I was consistent and I posted and I did my host of posts and I asked people and I talked to people and I had no sales. And I was like, okay, so I did everything, but I didn't get anything. So something had to have happened. What am I doing wrong? And so Melody is my accountability partner for the month, along with Bridget. Bridget is also an accountability partner for me. We work together. Hi, B. We work together where I message her and say, what have you done? She messages me and says, what have you done? But I send the task list every single day to Melanie. And I say, this is what I've done. And if I don't send it to her, I have to tell her why I didn't get all my stuff done. So yesterday was extremely busy, so I didn't get all my stuff done, but I did double today. I almost got locked out of Facebook because I did so much today. But I like the first two or three sales of this month were people that I talked to last month. And then I thought, oh my gosh, it really is consistency. And I'm still talking to people for this month. I have a couple people, like I have a lady that she said, so today's the 14th. She said, can you wait and run my order on the 15th? Absolutely. She's already filled out my customer form. I have all of her information. All I have to do is in the morning, I have to say, hey, I'm going to run your order now. And she's going to be like, awesome. Thank you for waiting until the 15th. And the other thing that has been key for my success this month is the weight loss journey form. When Mel brought up the weight loss journey form, I thought, oh my gosh, why haven't I thought of this? So now I add it to all my stories. I do slides just for, are you on a weight loss journey? Do you need help? Do you need this? Do you need that? And I've gotten 8 filled out just this month. And it's the 14th. So I'm talking to every single one of those people. And the people who say, oh, I can't do it right now. I'm like, okay, I'll follow up with you in a couple weeks. And I'll follow up with them. I have a stack on in my office. I work from home most of the time. So I have a stack in my office of all the forms that I've completed and had completed, and I printed them off, and I'll follow up with those people. I had a lady who said that the slimming system was too much money. She didn't want to spend it. But it was a lady I go to church with. And when we went around and did the meet and greets that you always do at church, where you go around and say hi to everybody, she hugged me and she goes, I am going to order those gummies. You just have to give me a little time. So I messaged her and I said, hey, just so you know, if you don't want to do the whole system, we can do just the gummies, but you still need to order 2 to make the money worth it. And she's like, oh, okay. Call me next week. I see her every week at church. She's going to see me and be like, oh, wait, I got to do that. So stop telling yourself that you can't do it before you even try. I've talked to more people this month than I have. I'm using the Facebook algorithm to add new friends. I add 20 friends every single day. Sometimes I add 30 to 40 friends a day. And I went into my Facebook the other day and I was like, I wonder if these people are actually like saying yes. Because I have so many things that come through my Facebook that I'm like, maybe I'm not catching them if they're saying yes and accepting my friend request. And I looked, and like over half of the people that I've requested so far this month have taken and said, yeah, I'll be your friend. You know, so I mean, you have to take the chance of just throwing yourself out there. You know, don't. In the very beginning, when I first started this business, I hated when somebody told me no. I felt like it was something that I did wrong, or maybe I didn't say it the right way, or maybe I didn't do this the right way. Maybe I didn't say it the right way, or maybe I just needed to give them a little bit more time. Sorry, I had to let the dog out.
No, you're fine. I love that, because you just saying, I maybe needed to give them a little bit more time. We all sometimes need time in making a decision. Like, it's so funny that you said, it's just kind of ironic. You said you worked all of March and then you started getting sales this month from those people that you talked to. The reality is when you start doing, and I can even say in my own business, like I basically took off the month of December because of losing my mom, and I started back hardcore in January, and I didn't see results from my January work until February. And they say, like the gurus in the business, that it takes a month to 6 weeks of consistency to start reaping the rewards. And the reason is because of needing that patience, because of needing to have to follow up with people, because you've piqued people's interest with conversations. Now they're going to be watching your posts. Now they're going to be watching your stories. Now they're going to be watching you. And those pictures, your story, your conversations are going to keep grabbing them. And then they're going to pull the trigger when you message them again.
Patient person, you would know. I have patience. If I want to do something, I want it done now. And I don't want to wait. If I want to go and do something with Bridget, I'm like, okay, Bridget, can we do this weekend? And she's like, no, we can't do it this weekend. We have to plan it out. And I'm like, okay, well then let's plan it. And she's like, all right, well, can you give me a little time? No, you need to plan it now. I'm a planner. I need to plan it out. I need to make sure that we're on the right page. I want to know exactly what I'm doing when I'm doing it. And a lot of people are not like that. People are not plan oriented. They are a spontaneous people. They will look at your post 15 times and then they'll be like, maybe she really is selling gummies. Maybe she's not like some robot. Maybe she really is doing something with this. So, I mean, you just have to give people a little bit of time to come around to what we actually are doing.
Absolutely. I completely agree. First of all, I want to say I'm really proud of you. Because you're doing a great job. And I'm just really proud of you. Ashley said, I've got people saying they're interested in the products and then ghosting after I give them the info on the products. It's because they reach out because they're curious, Ashley. And that's really what it is. It's like they've seen you posting, they're curious, they want info about it. Now they're going to think about it. But they're going to keep watching.
But don't forget those people. Mm-hmm. Make a list of those people who've spunked their curiosity and they're like, ooh, I'm a little curious about this. And instead of saying, okay, well, now they're ghosting me, wait a couple weeks and send them a before and after picture of the product. Or send them a message that says, hey, I have a sale going on right now, 40% off this product. Are you interested in hearing some more about it? Like their interest back again. Because I don't know about you, but if you go shopping and you're in a department store and you try on a dress, do you look at yourself in the mirror and think, okay, I'm going to buy this dress because I like it? Or do you ask the girlfriend that you're with, does this look nice on me? You know what I mean? You ask other people their opinions. Like, shoot, I had this bandana thing on my head earlier and I didn't know if it looked dorky. So I sent a picture to my friend and I was like, hey, does this look dorky? And she's like, no, it looks really cool. And I was like, okay. But I didn't really have to get her opinion. I was going to either wear it or not wear it. But people want to put just enough in to your conversation to be interested, but then they withdraw a little bit because they're nervous. I mean, ask Mel how long she asked me about this business before I actually said yes to her.
A long time. I'm reading Ashley's message. She says, talk to people about the business. And then when I explain it, you've gotten crazy responses. Like, Liz, I can tell you stories and about people, and like Jen included. I mean, she asked me probably 50 billion questions and had zero belief in herself. Like, zero belief that she could do it, had zero belief that she can be a success. And I had to have enough belief for her, never knowing if she was ever even going to sign up. We just kept having these random conversations for months. For months, I just checked back in with her, and it's like sometimes you just have to have belief in people. I know that it's worked for me, but I also know that I've put the work in every single day. You don't know when you're talking to somebody whether it's going to work for them or not, to be honest. I mean, like, everybody, this business can work for everybody. Like, I'm just being dead honest. You know how you can be an extrovert, an introvert, you can be a narcissist, bipolar, like who cares? I mean, whoever you are in this world, personality wise, you can make this work for you because it's simple and duplicatable. I mean, really, we give you the words to say majority of the time. And if you just put the work in, you can do it. But I can't promise that if Ashley signs up with me, that if she's not wanting to put the work in, that it's going to be a successful business for her. And so, but you have to have the belief in people sometimes and hopes for them to be a success. And so when you're talking to them, crazy responses, and I've got them all crazy responses. If they're rude, I just move on. And if they're hopeful or they're just fearful, which is majority of what people are, is fearful, you just encourage them, give them belief, and then make sure you're talking about the business on your post. Make sure you're not just doing, make sure when I try to give you guys posts of the days that are talking about sharing about the business, okay, talking about it's like telling your story. It's making you a real person, and so some people identify with that more so than they do with just, hey, I'm hiring, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and having conversations that way. Sometimes they just need to hear that Mel bought dinner with her bonus in Gatlinburg last night because she was able to buy her family dinner with her bonus. Some people just, they don't even have $150 to be able to go out to dinner, period. Like they don't have $50 to put gas in their car for the second time this week. And, some people just need to hear about the simple things that are happening or your hope that this business is going to help you pay off your credit card debt. I mean, like that Jen should be shouting out from the rooftops that she's only $2,000 away from paying off her credit card debt. I mean, that's huge. And that this business has helped her succeed in that so much faster. Like I have no doubt that Jen would pay her credit card debt off no matter what, because that was a goal and a financial thing for her family. But what this business has done is allowed her to speed up that process. It's not taking her 5 years, it's taking her 2. Okay. And so do you see what I'm saying? Like what is that's doing for her business? What she got into this business for is actually becoming true. But she started building on that from the beginning. And so those are just things you have to remember you're talking about, because there is going to be a day. I think about this all the time. I am seeing things 4 years in happening in my life that I prayed for when I started this business. And there is going to be a day that I'm going to sit on my porch that I have built on my land that I have bought with money from this business. And I'm going to sit here and go, Lord, this is what I've prayed for. This is what I prayed for years and years ago when I started this business. I prayed for this life. And I'm going to live and see that to fruition. Now, would that life have been made possible by hard work and me just working as a nurse? Yes, possibly 20 years, 30 years from now, but I'm going to make it possible in less than 10. Like, we're talking about big dreams, big, big dreams. And I believe in this business is such a tool to be able to help us accomplish our dreams so much faster and so much quicker, and possibly dreams that may not have ever even come true. And I'm going to be sitting here living that life and looking out going, oh my gosh, this is what I've dreamed of. I'm already seeing that. I'm already seeing that in my life. So Jen, last thing I'm just going to bother you about. This has already been so good. Did you do it? I know you had to kind of get your mindset reworked. What are you doing on an everyday basis? I know you're doing the task list. Will you kind of go over just that, what you're doing every single day? You said something about you were adding 20 to 30 friends a day. What else are you doing every day?
Okay, so I post my stories every day. I do the posts that you do every day. I try to add to my regular Facebook page every day. I haven't had as much time to do TikToks lately, but I have done a lot of TikToks since we got back from, where were we, Bridget?
Indianapolis.
Indy. And so I've done a lot more TikToks. People are actually, like, people that I'm friends with at work and stuff like that, they're like, oh my gosh, your TikToks are hilarious. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that you're watching my TikTok. Like, I'm like kind of appalled sometimes when I'm like, and then I'll be like, oh my gosh, did you see the one I did where I asked for prayers for my husband? And they're like, yeah, that was totally hilarious. I was like, yeah, it was even funnier because I made my husband stay right beside me while I did it. And so they laugh at it. But anyway, sorry, sidebar. So Okay, add to my network at least 20 to 30.
Pause for a second. Pause for a second, Joe. This makes me think of a TikTok I saw the other day that said, when your friends comment on your TikToks and you look at them and you go, "My TikToks are supposed to be for strangers only." That's how I feel too. It's like, you should not be watching my TikToks. They are for strangers. They're not for people I know. Okay, go on. Go on. 20 to 35.
All my TikToks, every single TikTok that I do, I post to Reels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's really funny when your mother comments on the reel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, anyway. So I add friends every day. I ask for host to post every day. I ask at least 30 people every day. And
can you tell me how you're doing that? Are you doing it from a post? Or are you just going through your friends list?
So anybody who's active, I send the, "Hey, I see you're online right now, and I just wanted to ask." Every single host to post that I ask for, that's how I ask for it. And then anybody who comments on my host to post, I follow back up with them, asking them to add me as a friend, and then ask them to do a host to post. And then, what else do I do? Add to my story. And then every evening after my kids are in bed and me and my husband are sitting on the couch watching TV, I prep things for the next day. So I will make slides for me to put in my stories the next day. I will work on story slides for the next day. So I work in Canva for at least an hour every night on slides, on things, on business slide, on product slides, any kind of slides.
Love that.
So that's what I do every single day.
I love that. Original content is always great. You can always share and borrow. I didn't think to ask people that have commented on another host post to post as well. Yes. So, so the people that are posting for you, you need to be going into those, friending those people because it grows your network, and then you need to be asking them to post for you too. If it's not like a gummy post, you could always reach out to. I mean, you're going to talk to them about the product if they did about the product, but sometimes you can give away a giveaway host to post, just like the one you posted on your page, and have that person post it on their page, and then you comment onto those things. So it's kind of the same thing you would do on your page. You would just have them post a giveaway on their page, but it says "My friend Mel." My friend Mel's been mowing $500 to somebody. What is your favorite color? You know,
So
just whatever it is.
I have a lady that does Mary Kay,
Mm-hmm.
and I asked her to post for me, and she was like, "Absolutely, I'd love to support you," because I bought something off of her before.
Right.
And so I asked her to put the weight loss one up, the heart one, and that's how I got all my forms filled out this month.
That's awesome.
Like 10 people commented on the heart one. Oh, and I tell everybody happy birthday every day.
Yes,
happy birthday. I do that before I even get out of bed. So one of the things that they always say is don't wake up and the first thing you do is look at your phone. But especially like if my kids are already up and I have a couple minutes before I have to get them on the bus, I'll lay in bed and do all my happy birthdays real quick because it takes one thing off my list before I even start my day.
I like to start with that too. And honestly, it switches the algorithm for the morning. So I'll do happy birthdays and it switches my algorithm for the day. Then I'll do my morning post. And it should hit all those people that I just wished happy birthday, their feeds. And so it's just it's a great way to just kind of move the algorithm around. So Ashley, you had a specific question you wanted to ask us. So go ahead and shoot.
Okay, I have a scenario, I guess. So I still reach out to people on my Facebook, but I've been reaching out. I know I told you about the moms group that I'm in. So I've been reaching out to them, and then I've been asking people or I posted a thing in the group about the who's looking for extra money, about the hiring and stuff. Yeah. So I got at least 5 of them that had replied back. A couple of them were curious and they said they let me know, but then I had 5 of them within 2 days of each other, they came at me and the situation, I didn't know what to say back to it. Cause they're you're a pyramid scheme. You're what's wrong with this country. You're trying to manipulate people. You're trying to make money off of somebody else, and they're not going to make you're going to make money, and they're not going to make anything. And you're part of the pyramid scheme. You're a part of the problem. All this kind of crazy things that came at me. I didn't even know what to say. I just didn't reply.
So I have a snarky comment that I always say back. I'll send it to you, but I mean, you can think about sending it or not. Usually I just ignore those people. The reality is every company is kind of a pyramid scheme. There's a CEO at the top who owns the company, who makes money off of every employee that's underneath them. And so, and they drive around in jets and make billions and billions of dollars. And so, while you work for $12 an hour, but that's just being snarky. But here's the reality: is that a pyramid scheme is illegal. An actual pyramid scheme is an illegal thing. And that is not something that we are. You get paid off of what you sell. I mean, that's literally 100%. Ashley gets paid off of what she sells. Melody gets paid off of what she sells. Jen gets paid off of what she sells. Bridget gets paid off of what she sells. The benefit of this business is you can have, like, all of you, Jen, Ashley, and Bridget, have joined my team. Okay, we as a team work together. I don't make any money off of you guys unless you guys work, and so I don't make. It's not like I make cents, small amounts off of each one of you of what you sell, but you still make what you sell. Like, no one takes that away from you. Does that make sense? So, yeah. So it's like, it's not that you're making money, millions of dollars off of other people. No one's taking away your work ethic and what you make. And no one's capping you out at a certain amount. So whatever you make and sell, you make off of it. You make off of, I place a distributor underneath you, Ashley, you make money off of that person. Small amounts of whatever they sell. But no one ever takes away that money from you. Does that make sense? So yeah. It's like I find it so silly when people say that, because no one takes that away from you. If you put the effort in and the work, you make the large amount of money off of what you do, and so you reap those rewards. Now, if you sit and don't do anything, you don't make any money, the more conversations you're in, the more money you make. But no one ever takes that away from you. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, when people don't make money, you have to work.
Yeah.
Just like,
what I found funny about it though is, when the first one I read and they said pyramid scheme, I'm like, I've heard of a pyramid scheme, but I don't think I actually know what that is. So I started Googling it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's kind of like you said, I was like, that's kind of like any business.
It's literally any business ever made.
Not a mom and pop shop or.
Right. It's not, it's like
anything.
The idea of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, the idea of what people, which, number one, like, a pyramid scheme is illegal. If you Google like what a pyramid scheme is, but when people look at a pyramid, it's just like any other business model. There is a boss, there is employees, and it's just kind of like a breakdown. Well, in this business, you get to be the boss. And then anybody you bring in underneath you, you make off of, just like a CEO would of a company, that started a company and hired its first employees and grew to 100 employees. It's the same thing for you. You started with yourself and you grew to 100 employees. Does that make sense? It's so, it's not, it's like, I find it so, to me, it's so silly. And when you look at the model of, like, the person who invented the Boeing jet, and like Boeing jets are like a freaking, like $1 trillion company. But somebody had that idea and they started it. Now, is Mr. Boeing off making billions of dollars on his own? Yes. And that his pilots are making $40,000 a year? Yes. Is that wrong? No. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just the way, he had the idea. You didn't. You work for him. So it's to me, that concept is silly. But, listen, I try to keep my interactions with people as positive as I can. And anything that robs me of my peace and joy, and anything that makes something not fun anymore, I don't want to be a part of. And I had a situation even today with just some family that it just robbed me of my peace. And I just thought, Lord, this is not the way I like living my life. I want to have peace in my heart, have peace in my spirit. And if I'm having a conversation with somebody who's a complete freaking stranger and it's robbing me of my peace for the moment, then I don't need to have that conversation, if that makes sense. So just always be cognizant of that as you're even adding people that are friends. Sometimes just sit there and take a little extra time and look at their Facebook page. If they're sitting there smoking a doobie and flicking off the middle finger on their first picture, then you need to be like, this isn't the right fit for me, and this isn't somebody I maybe want to have business with. So it's not necessarily always about adding friends and searching for a sale or searching for a new partner. Sometimes it's just about finding the people that are your community. Like having like something. I was telling Mellis today in my post that I posted today, I was just being grateful for the community that I have online and in person. And I have had so many people message me and reach out to me, literally social media strangers, okay? But what I have created is a social media community that actually cares about me and my family and has been praying for me, reaching out for me, and sending messages just through this whole thing with Ben. And like, that's just crazy to me. Like 4 years ago, I mean, I had literally like had 200 to 300 friends, and like I basically was a Facebook stalker, you know? And now I've created this community of thousands and thousands of people that have like, people are just literally strangers texting me, praying for my husband. And so, you know, it's about just creating an environment of positivity and what you desire and what you hope you see when you scroll on Facebook. Do you guys ever ask for prayers or prayer requests? Yes, girl, absolutely. Absolutely. I know somebody who does that weekly on her stories. She will ask people for prayer requests, and when she gets them, she'll actually turn on her story and pray specifically for that person. And so like, I just think that's something I've never tried and never done. It always inspires me. And I'm like, you know, like, get to know people. It's just about being real and being authentic. And I just love that. Ashley, do you have anything else?
Yeah, actually, I mean, you don't need to pray with me on call, but I was going to see if you guys can pray, like, just to get some extra prayers for us. I have a 14-year-old, and she's ADHD. She has depression, anxiety. Well, she's kind of, we had a very blow up situation today where I found out she was lying to me about a lot of things and lying to me about a friend who is also a female and apparently was more than a friend. This is a person I've had at my home, spend the night. And it just became a crazy thing. And my daughter got very violent with me. My parents came over and helped diffuse the situation. I'm gonna have to put my kid in like all kinds of anger management, all kinds of stuff. But I don't agree with that for her, because she's not even, I don't feel like she's even old enough to make those kind of decisions. And I feel like a lot of it is influence and things like that. And I don't really, as a mom, I don't really know how to handle the situation. So I'm kind of just, I need prayers on and God to tell me like how to handle the situation. Cause I know anything I choose, she's not going to be happy and she's going to hate me. But I just don't, like, I'm kind of hurting right now because the way she came at me today, it like broke my heart. And the fact that I know she's going to not want to talk to me and gonna, as she says, hate me after this whole situation. Like, I just, it's taken a toll on me emotionally, and I'm trying to figure out how to plow through it.
Ashley, I'm so sorry. Girl, being a mom sucks some days. Like, it really, as a mom of two girls who are 18 and 20 who think they know everything in the world, being a mom really sucks some days, and we just don't know what to do. So I'm going to pray with you right now, if you guys don't mind, because I just feel like led to do that. And I think that you just need to be covered in prayer and hear somebody, not know somebody's praying for you, but to actually be prayed over. So dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this night. And thank you so much for these wonderful ladies who have hopped on tonight and just what they mean to me in this business. So I just thank you for bringing Ashley into my life, Lord, through social media, so that we could have this moment right now. Lord, she is hurting. She has a situation in her home that you know of and that you have your hand upon. And Lord, I just ask that you just continue to guide her in her home and the words that she says and the word interactions that she has with her daughter. Lord, I ask that you first of all give her peace, that she is going to handle the situation correctly, that she is a good mom, and that she does love her family and that her family is the center of her life. I know that it is. And Lord, I just ask that you just continue to guide her, bring her peace as she walks through this journey, give her strength, give her perseverance, give her clarity of mind, help her to think before she speaks, Lord. And I ask that you just guide her in the way that she is supposed to be going, and handling the situation with her daughter, Lord. Just again, pour peace upon her, Lord, and let her continue to remind her that she is a good mom, that she is loved by you, that she was given these children by you for the reason of being their mom, period. And so, Lord, just honor her, bless her, give her peace in her home. And I just pray over her daughter right now, who is just struggling and finding her own identity, and is a 14-year-old girl with hormones who thinks she knows what she wants in life and where she's going. And Lord, sometimes we have to bring them back down to earth and help them walk through confusing things that they're trying to figure out in life and who they are, Lord. And I just ask again that you give Ashley clarity, give her the words that she is supposed to be speaking and how to handle the situation. I ask this in your name. Amen. I love you guys. Ashley, hang in there, baby. Just get some rest tonight. And always, always, always in situations like this, think before you speak, because sometimes you can't take it back. So that's the biggest advice I have to give when raising girls. Sometimes you can't take it back. All right, you guys, I love you. Jen, thanks so much for sharing tonight. You were amazing. Again, I'm super proud of you. Bridge, so proud of you as well. And I can't wait to hear about your messenger parties that we had talked about. And then I get to see you girls next weekend, Bridge and Jen. I'm super, super excited. So love you guys. Again, thanks for hopping on. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend.